So you've found that perfect piece of land here in East Tennessee. You can see the house, you can feel the dream, but what's the very first real-world step you have to take? Well, that's exactly what we're going to walk through today, the septic permit.
I mean, you can just picture it, right? Sitting on that porch, looking out at the hills, it's an incredible dream. And holding on to that vision is what's going to get you through all the practical stuff we're about to cover.
Okay, so what's the one thing that can stop your project dead in its tracks before it even begins? It's not your builder. It's not your blueprints. Nope. It's the septic permit. It's so easy to overlook, but it is absolutely essential.
So here's our game plan. We're going to break this whole thing down into 6 simple parts. Think of this as your roadmap, turning what seems like a complicated maze into a straightforward path. First up, let's talk about the permit itself. Now, I don't want you to think of this as just a piece of paper or some bureaucratic hassle. This is the official gateway. It's the key that unlocks your entire project.
And trust me, it is completely non-negotiable. And for good reason. First, there's the legal side. Skipping this can get you hit with huge fines and a stop work order. Then, it protects your investment. A properly permitted system is designed not to fail. And finally, it protects our whole community by keeping the groundwater and our beautiful rivers, like the Nolechucky and the Watauga, safe and clean.
Okay, Section 2, the groundwork. This is the cool part. Long before you're filling out forms, the most important work happens right there on your piece of dirt. Seriously, the land itself holds all the answers you need. And the only person who can translate what that land is telling you is the licensed soil scientist. This person is the MVP of your whole project. And let me be clear, in Tennessee, this is not a suggestion. They are a required specialist. You can't get a permit without one. So what do? They perform what's called a soil morphology test. Now, you might have heard of an old Perk test where they just pour water in a hole. Forget that. This is way more advanced. The scientist literally climbs into a freshly dug pit to read the layers of the soil, kind of like reading the pages of a book, to understand its texture, its structure, and where the water table is. The process here is pretty logical. First, you, or the scientist, will do an initial walk of the property. Then, you officially hire that state-licensed pro. They'll come out, dig their test pits, and do their analysis. And what you get back from them is a super detailed report and map. That map? That's the blueprint for your entire application.
All right, now that you've got your blueprint, it's time to actually assemble your application. This is the paperwork part of the quest, gathering all the documents you need.
You're going to need 4 key things. The official application form, which is CN0968, the complete report and map from your soil scientist, a copy of your property deed or survey, and a basic floor plan. Now here's a super important little detail about that floor plan. They don't care about the total square footage. All they're looking for is the number of bedrooms. That number is what determines the size of the septic system you'll need.
So you get all that together, you put it in a packet with the application fee, and you submit it to the Washington County Environmental Health Office. From there, your file gets assigned to an environmentalist who's going to review every last detail.
Okay, let's fast forward. Your application is approved and you have the permit in hand. Now we get to the really exciting part, the actual installation and that final critical inspection.
So the sequence here is absolutely crucial. You get the permit, that's your green light. Next, you must hire a state-certified installer. They build the system exactly to plan. And then, and this is key, before they cover it up with dirt, an environmentalist from the health department comes out to inspect it. Once you pass that inspection, you get the final notice of approval. You'll need that piece of paper to get your certificate of occupancy, which is what lets you legally move into your home.
All right, let's get into some of the most common questions that pop up during this process. This is the practical, real-world stuff you're probably wondering about.
And of course, the first question on everybody's mind is the big one. How much is this all going to cost? You should probably budget somewhere between $1,000 and $2,500 for the whole permit process. But look at this breakdown. What's really interesting is that the biggest chunk of that cost, 60%, isn't the government fee. It's paying for the soil scientist. It just goes to show you how valuable that professional expertise is right at the start. So, how long does all this take? Well, this isn't an overnight thing. You've got to have some patience. Just getting the soil scientist scheduled can take a few weeks, and then the health department's review takes time too. You should plan on a total of 6 to 10 weeks from start to finish, which is exactly why you have to get this started early.
Now, once you finally get that permit in your hands, a clock starts ticking. In Tennessee, a septic construction permit is good for exactly 24 months. If you go past that 2-year mark, it expires, and you've got to start the entire process all over again.
Okay, but what about the scary question, what if your soil fails the test? Well, believe it or not, it's usually not the end of your dream. It just means a simple, conventional system won't work on your property. You'll have to pivot to what's called an alternative system. It's definitely more complex, and yeah, it's more expensive, but it's an amazing piece of engineering that can make a tricky piece of land buildable.
That brings us to our last section, and I've saved the most important piece of advice for last. This is the one golden rule for this entire home building journey.
Seriously, if you forget everything else we've talked about today, please remember this next part. This one tip can save you from an absolute catastrophe.
Here it is. Test your soil before you buy the land. Let me say that again. Test the soil before you sign the papers. Spending that $1,000 or so on a soil test up front is the cheapest, best insurance policy you could ever buy. It protects you from the absolute heartbreak of finding out that beautiful property you just spent your life savings on is unbuildable.
So there you have it. You've got the map, you understand the steps, and you know the golden rule. The path to building your dream home is clear. So the only real question left is, what are you going to build?